Listen, I don't want to hear it. I have never once gotten a beanie to look fashionable or cute on me. It's always just given me a certain aesthetic. I'm not going to say what that aesthetic is. It's just, if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. I'll say no more. But I'm about to go brave this frozen tundra that is outside to get my morning Christophers in. You know, because girl, we be walking. And then it's high time that we batten down the hatches on the chicken coop. Get the girls tucked in for the long months of winter ahead. I'm 33, so I've added a weighted vest to my regime. Because it's just something that you do at 33. You start going on weighted walks for your bone health. Also, you start running, but I haven't gotten to that point in my 30s. Been trying to for years, but never happened. So here's the fit. It's purple. I think it's 15 pounds. 15 or 20. I'll have to double check. What are you doing? Coming to help batten the hatches. Do this so we don't get our eyes broken. Don't break all our eyes. Hatches are battened.
I think that was faster than last year.
We knew what to do this year.
Pretty sure it was snowing on us last year too.
Check out. I was about to get in the shower, but I needed to show you my hair right now, this post beanie hair, because it looks like the terrible Jacob wig from Twilight. Does it not? Bella, where you been, loca? Let me just set the scene. It's a couple of days later. There are ambient laundry machine sounds in the background. I'm wearing a Southern Virginia University sweater that I got from the thrift store. I have never gone to this university, and we are about to finally decorate the tree that has been sitting here naked for like a week now, maybe a little bit over a week. So I think it's time. There's just like a certain dread that happens in my heart and soul when it comes to like putting Christmas lights on a tree. It's just, I don't look forward to it. I think I actually need to trim one of these branches off because this one's pretty low. And it kind of just like throws off the whole groove of the rest of the tree. Yeah. There we go. Any others? Oh! Right in the temple. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and not the game. Alright, that's good. Yeah. We are going to hope that there's a bit to this that will attach to more lights. Because you need a metric shit ton to properly light a tree. Unbeknownst to me, I first was self-conscious in my tree lighting abilities at my last job. I worked as a graphic designer at a Space Force base, but for some reason we were in charge of like the holiday decor in the main lobby. And that holiday decor required us to put up and decorate like upwards of 30 trees. Like I shit you not, it was an explosion. It was just a lot of Christmas, but it was pretty fun because they let me do like a dinosaur theme section, which was really cool, and I ended up making like a giant paper mache dinosaur, and that was like the New Year section, and it was like 2024 is extinct, here's 2025 or whatever the year was. I think it was like 2019 and 2020. I want to like remake the dinosaur because like it was like a time sensitive thing where I didn't like do it to like what I aspired it to be, you know? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My boss was very southern, very particular about Christmas. And she was great, don't get me wrong, like, love her. Very fun, very eccentric lady. And mind you, at the time I was very anti-decorating, that kind of thing. Like, I hated the holidays. In recent years, I have done more, gotten more into it. It's still a little shaky, but I'm trying. I was left to my own devices to decorate one of these 30 trees. And I was putting on the lights and it took me like 10 minutes. You know, I just went around the tree. Pretty haphazard actually. Because like growing up, anytime we put up a tree, it was like already pre-lit. My mom, single mom that works too hard, you know, is not going to sit there. She was all about convenience. Convenience meals, convenience, Christmas tree lighting, just, it was just the way, you know? And so my boss comes up and she like looks at the tree. I remember her like sucking her lips in like this, like she did not approve, and it was a very much a bless your heart moment. But she took the lights off and did it a more proper put together way. It's not ever like a big deal, but for whatever reason, like some comments just like stick with you. You know, like someone will walk in the room and say, hey, stripes, because you're wearing a striped sweater. And then you're like, I can never wear a striped sweater again, even though it wasn't necessarily like negative. But I have had a complex about my tree lighting abilities ever since. So long story short, I looked up like the proper way to light a tree, and I found this method that looked fantastic, and it basically means like every single branch you're wrapping that biche, like going up one way, down the other, to the next branch, which takes an egregious amount of time. Like I've only done 4 branches since the time I've been talking. Granted, I can't do more than one thing at once. But yeah, me and Steven have both been like putting off doing the tree because this part in particular. But anyways, this is what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. I'll holler at you when I'm done. It's 3 hours later. I ran out of Christmas lights. Let's go on a side quest. So we just got back from Lowe's getting more Christmas lights, and it is already dinner time. So I am just really quickly throwing together dinner, and I've made this recipe on the channel before. Typically I make it with beef. It's like a beef and cabbage Asian-y type dish. Very, very easy to make. And like I said, typically I make that with beef, but I had chicken already thawed out in the fridge, so I'm gonna pop some chicken in there. See how that tastes. Yeah, I am just chopping up my cabbage really poorly, I might add. And then once you've got it, some shapes that are not at all uniform, but less big than how they were grown, we can wash it off. And I'm just gonna thinly slice half of a yellow onion. And I bought pre-shredded carrots because I'm all about convenience right now. Because we need to get that tree done. And then for garnish, green onions. All right, we got our veg taken care of. And now for the chicken. I'm just gonna cut 2 chicken breasts into thin strips. Okay, and the prep work is done. Now all we have to do is assemble in a skillet. All right, I'm just gonna heat up. Let's see how far 1 tablespoon of oil gets us. Yeah, that's probably enough. My only worry is like because the chicken breast isn't as fatty as the steak I normally use is, that it might benefit from the extra avocado oil, but it'll be fine. Okay, we're just gonna let the chicken brown a little bit before adding our vegetables. And I cut them pretty thin, so it shouldn't take it very long to cook at all. Okay, now I'm adding the yellow onion and like a tablespoon of minced garlic. Gonna add in like a half cup of shredded carrots, and I'm gonna season it with a little bit of ground ginger. I added about 1/4 of a cup of chicken broth into this just to like deglaze the pan because there was quite a bit of brown stuck to it, and that worked nicely. I didn't want to add too much liquid because as the cabbage cooks down, it's going to release quite a bit of water itself, and I don't want it to be like overly soppy. The original recipe, I believe, added cornstarch just to like thicken the sauce, but I don't have cornstarch and I keep forgetting to get some, so whatever. So for seasoning, I just put in 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce. And this one is like reduced sodium. Some people use liquid aminos in place of soy sauce. And then I got this oyster sauce, and I will add 1 tablespoon of that in there if I can open it. Oop. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, that only took like 30 minutes to throw together. Let's give it a try, considering I did the recipe from memory and I switched up the protein. Pretty good stuff. I think I might like the chicken more than the steak because the steak I typically use is pretty tough. You know, like a fajita steak or a flank steak. And there's definitely ways to make it less tough, but I just don't do because this is typically like my throw together meal. Very good. And this is also what I would consider a volume meal. Like you could just eat a metric shit ton of this. Guess where we are, squad? If you guess Lowe's. Sorry, the sign is behind every tree in this lot. You would be correct. I yet again ran out of Christmas lights. So we're like this far from the top of the tree. So here we are getting lights. Today was weigh-in day. Let me just run through that really quickly before I go into the Lowe's. So last week I weighed 211.8 pounds. This morning I stepped on the scale and I now weigh 211.4 pounds. So that is a weekly loss of 0.4 pounds, bringing our total to 45.6 pounds down. Like I said last week, my main goal is just to kind of like maintain throughout the rest of the year. We've got a couple weeks left. Getting past Christmas is a big one, and I have just been like way more hungry this week, and really like for the last like 2 weeks I've woken up and I've been like ravenously hungry. I did track this week, and so I know that I'm not meeting the specific calorie goal to lose 2 pounds a week, which is fine. Like I've been letting myself eat more because if I'm hungry, I eat, you know? But yeah, other than that, I have started to notice like more breakouts happening again around my like jawline and stuff. I'm just kind of bracing for impact. Because my period's been rough. I have an appointment and I'm going to like talk to my doctor about like the supplements that I'm taking and like kind of tell her like what's been going on with, had really bad like PMDD last month and acne. What I'm thinking is going on is like, because I'm on the supplement for DHEA, because I have like extremely low estrogen. I'm thinking that because DHEA is a precursor to both testosterone and estrogen, my body is just kind of making more testosterone and not more estrogen, hence like the moodiness and like the excess acne, especially around my chin and jawline. I don't know. So I am thinking that I might stop that supplement and potentially just go back on hormonal birth control, which I've been considering for like months and months now. I just can't spend like 2 weeks out of the month the way that I did last month. It's just like not gonna work. It's not gonna work for me. So I need to figure out a solution and I need to figure it out fast. But yeah, so right now we're just gonna focus on the present. We're gonna pop in there, get these freaking Christmas lights, get this Christmas tree going, and just make good choices the rest of the day. Other than that, I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!